Welcome to Master Mind Meld. 5 contestants will compete for the coveted bragging rights to knowing the most about Star Trek. Each will have to answer questions on general Star Trek knowledge as well as their specialist chosen subject. Only 2 will go through to the final, but who will be crowned the Master Mind Melder? And welcome to our second guest on Master Mind Meld. I'm not going to call it the weakest org interlink this week. We have the other half of Trek Wars and Fantasy. We have Olympus with us. Welcome, Olympus.
Thank you very much for having me. I am really looking forward to this.
Oh, good. So let's tell people a little bit about who is Olympus? What's your connection with Trek Wars and Fantasy? Yeah, let's start with that.
Oh, okay. So I think I'm 33. I need to do the maths. Yeah, I'm a 33-year-old dad, geek and proud. Absolutely live it. I've loved Star Trek since I was a kid. It was actually my gran that introduced me to it. You know those collection magazines that you used to get with DVDs in them. So like first issues, 99 pence, and then they bump it up.
Yes.
Well, first issue of the Star Trek Next Generation series had First Contact in it. My gran picked that up for me, and that was me hooked. So I've got that entire collection upstairs from my lovely granny. She introduced me to the world of Star Trek. Um, and and yeah, from there, sci-fi. My love of sci-fi just blossomed out completely, and I fully embraced the geek that I am. I've been the other half of Jaws Across the Stars, Trek Wars Fantasy with Ben for some time now, actually. We'll need to check how long it's been, but from a Jaws Across the Stars episode perspective, we're just about to upload our 21st episode, not including our 2 specials that we've done too. So that's been going on for quite some time now, which is brilliant. It's something that we both really enjoy doing, just sharing our love of Star Trek and Star Wars. So yeah, I've also recently started volunteering for Trek Central, which is a sort of Star Trek focused community, which puts out news, social media posts, etc. So I'm in the middle of writing my first article for them.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. Well, we'll keep our eyes peeled for that and your name on the byline.
Yes.
Absolutely. So I think it's fair to say then you are an expert in all things Trek. You've set the bar very high for yourself here.
Oh
Uh,
no.
so why don't you share with everyone what your specialist subject is?
In my opinion, the absolute best Starfleet captain to ever appear on screen, Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
And what is it about Jean-Luc Picard that made you want to choose? Why are you such an expert
Um,
in Jean-Luc?
well, TNG I've watched so many times over the years. It was the first Star Trek I was exposed to, and I guess I've got a bit of attachment to it in that respect. I love the character development and the gel of the cast over the different seasons. But with Jean-Luc, it's something that really clicked with me was the way that Patrick Stewart really portrays him and shows his growth over the seasons as well. That I really kind of latched onto his love of literature, in particular, the likes of Shakespeare. Um, which again, Patrick Stewart has very close ties to Shakespeare. I've got an English degree in literature. Big part of my stuff there is Shakespeare as well. So I guess I kind of just connected on that front for a lot of different reasons. And there's just a presence and an air about him. There's a humanity to Jean-Luc Picard, which is very, very relatable. Um, the biggest thing for me in all Trek, in any media actually, is seeing a character developing and growing, whichever direction it is. If a character is stagnant, it doesn't really flow very well for me with the stories. And even through Picard's the Star Trek Picard modern 3 seasons that we've had, you still see that growth in that character after all those years from the end of Nemesis. So yeah, I guess that's why I love him so much.
Fantastic. A very full and well-rounded answer there. And interesting about your interest in Shakespeare. We'll have to talk about that off air. However, have we not heard the bells at midnight? So I think it's time we get going on the quiz. Did you like that little bit of a Shakespeare?
I did. I loved it.
Okay, so we've discussed the rules off air, but just a quick reminder for all our viewers, you have 2 minutes to answer up to a maximum of 20 questions. Each correct answer earns 1 point. A pass, and we move straight to the next question, but an incorrect answer will have me reading out the correct answer straight away. Any passes will be answered after the allotted time. Are you ready to begin, Olympus?
As ready as I will ever be, as much of the hype as I've probably put on this and TNG and Picard as possible. You are about to have a right good laugh at me here as I get total brain fog. This is going to be fun.
Well, let's make it so as your time starts now. In the TNG episode The Inner Light, Picard learned to play the Resicum flute on which planet? In 2399, Picard's consciousness was transferred into an android body originally intended for who?
Damn it, still what I mean about brain fog. Data's creator, played by Brent Spiner. Dr. Soong.
I'll have to push you for which Dr. Soong. There have been a number.
Walton Soong.
Incorrect. It was Dr. Alton Soong.
Damn it, there's too many of them.
On which ship did Cadet Picard join the Speed of Light Club?
Stargazer.
Incorrect. It was the USS Leondegrance.
There you go.
What was Jean-Luc's father's name?
Damn, I should know that. Pierre?
It was Maurice.
Maurice, damn
Who
it, I did know that.
described Picard as having the heart of an explorer and the soul of a poet?
Wolf.
It was Tasha Yar.
Damn.
What novel do we see Picard reading to a young Elnor on the planet Vashti during Picard Season 1?
The Three Musketeers.
Correct. Best known for
I got
his
one.
command of the Enterprise D, how many years did Jean-Luc command her prior to her destruction at Viridian 3?
I'm gonna make 7 seasons. Then you had Generations. I'm going to say 8.
Correct. In the TNG episode Reunion, Picard became arbiter of succession to whom?
Wolf, son of Moog.
Incorrect. It was Gowron, and that is
because
2 minutes up.
Of course it was, because the opposite succession's to the Klingon Chancellor. Duh. See what I mean about brain fog?
It's a lot of pressure, I understand, but you only
I am
passed
actually
on one
sweating.
answer. The answer you passed on was in the TNG episode The Inner Light, Picard learned to play the Resicum flute. On which planet? The answer was Catan.
Can't see. I knew right away I would not remember the planet name. If it had been, if the question had been, what instrument did Picard learn, I would have said Resicum flute.
Yes,
but unfortunately, that wasn't the question.
But this is not Mind Meld. This is Master Mind Meld. So
Indeed.
A total of 2 answers correct in your specialist round. We're going to go to a quick break and have a word from our sponsors who may not have sponsored us, but don't worry about that. And we'll be coming back shortly for the general knowledge part of the round. Don't go anywhere. That's an order. Hi everyone. I wanted to talk to you today because there are going to be some big changes happening to the channel in the very near future, and I wanted to explain them and how they are going to benefit you.
Oh, me? Yes. Oh, thank you very much. Well, not just you, all of you.
Now, for quite a long time now, I've been running Hailing Frequencies, doing a variety of different things, Star Trek reviews, unboxing videos, repairs with GrabThar's Toolbox, and so on. And that's been great. I'm having an absolute blast doing them. But as I move the channel forward, it occurs to me that the YouTube algorithm, which is some weird mystic kind of magic, is trying to diversify what audiences it pitches it to. So, in order to make it a bit more niche, what I'm going to be doing is moving GrabThar's Toolbox to its own unique channel. Now, what this means is you're basically going to see the GrabThar's Toolbox videos disappearing from this channel. Not the unboxing ones, because I think they still belong right here in what is going to be renamed Hailing Frequencies The Geek Room. And it'll be Hailing Frequencies GrabThar's Toolbox. So it'll still be under the Hailing Frequencies banner. But yeah, this is going to be the Geek Room, and I think the unboxing videos belong here. But the repairs, not so much. Now, we will be diversifying a bit further. We've got more reviews coming at you. We're looking at doing some more Star Trek Adventures roleplay, which is very, very exciting. Some more news about that to come soon. And we're also looking at a new series using our very own Ed from Star Trek Adventures, from Star Trek Livingston, doing something rather special, but I don't want to give any spoilers about that just yet. Now, I did say at the beginning that this is going to benefit you. Now, what do I mean by that? So, first of all, if you're here because you like the repairs, or if you like both lots of content, absolutely fantastic. Do subscribe to GrabThar's Toolbox. There will be a link in the description below. And you'll still be able to get all the content right there. So don't worry about that. But the way it's going to benefit people who maybe aren't into that content so much is it will allow YouTube to identify what this channel is really all about and promote it to the right people. That in turn will cause the channel to grow, and as it grows, I'll be able to do more and more and better content for you in the future. So if you haven't as yet, it's vitally important that you subscribe to the channel, like as many videos as possible, and leave comments below as well, because that really, really helps with the algorithm as well. Like I say, it's some kind of mystical magic. And that would be fantastic. So there we go. Make sure if you still want to see those repair videos that you like, GrabThar's Toolbox in the comment below and subscribe to that channel. In the meantime, there'll be more stuff coming soon, so make sure you're subscribed here as well. For now, peace and long life. Live long and prosper. And welcome back. Do please make use of that service, podcast, government system, whatever that advert was for. Now, how are you feeling now, Olympus?
A lot calmer now. I've cooled down after that. After that, I've got to say, phenomenal questions that came up there. The one about Picard with the planet and the flute, like I've answered the flute one fine. The planet, just I knew right away I wasn't getting it. The others, most of them I had in my head somewhere, and I just couldn't get them out. It's insane when you're under that amount of pressure, isn't it? Just like how much is stopped. But the one I've forgotten the question about the Picard ship, the ship that he was on when he joined the Speed of Light Club. That I did not know. That was a complete and total guess. But I did not know that at all.
Okay, that's whilst he was a cadet. Yeah, it's traveling at, I think it's 34,000 kilometers per hour. It's like the first time you do that. You join the Speed of Light Club, you get a nice plaque. Yeah, it was the USS Leon deGrasse, under command of Captain Naota Uhura, no less.
No,
Yep,
wow.
yep.
That's
There you
phenomenal.
go. All these little bits of like Easter, it's all Easter eggs that come from the show, and it's worth mentioning for the viewers as well.
Oh,
All the
yeah.
questions asked come from Alpha Canon, none of it from Beta Canon or anything like that, because I think that would be unfair given the depth of information. I mean, the depth from the shows themselves is really extensive. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so it's all Alpha Canon stuff. It's all there. It's all hidden in episodes somewhere.
Yeah, but that's
If
why we
you
love
if you
this
find
franchise
it.
so much as well, isn't it? It's just how much lore and how much story and how much detail is in every single episode that you get. It does not take long for them to start building it all up.
I hate to correct you here, Olympus, but Laurie is not in every single episode.
Oh, damn. I keep thinking he's like hiding behind the consoles or behind the turbolift doors. Half the time I'm looking at Data like, are you sure you're Data? It could have
Well,
been lore all along.
well, the episode Data Lord was left on a bit of a isn't he?
Hmm.
And he actually makes a contraction at the end of that episode as well.
He does. He doesn't. It's like, is he
So
making a joke?
yeah, well, he says he's not capable. I mean, there's a few
And then,
times he did it by accident. So anyway, moving swiftly on. Are you ready now for the general knowledge part of the round?
let's go for it.
Okay, and a quick reminder for our viewers, I use the same set of questions for the general knowledge with all our players to keep it as fair as possible. Same rules as before, 2-minute time limit, you may pass, but if you get an incorrect answer, I will give you the correct answer there and then, passes at the end. Are you ready?
As I'll ever be. Engage.
Your time starts now. In Strange New World, Spock is played by an actor with a famous grandfather. Who is his grandfather?
For Pete's sake. Pass.
In the motion picture, it is understood, though not explicitly stated, that Commander Decker is the son of Commodore Decker, who appeared in which original series episode?
Pass.
How is a Russian train toilet flush connected to the 2009 Star Trek reboot movie?
Pass. Jesus. Pass.
We see Hikaru Sulu's daughter in 2 of the movies. One is Star Trek Generations. Which is the other?
The Final Frontier?
Incorrect. It is Star Trek Beyond. Alexander Siddig, who
Oh.
portrayed Dr. Julian Bashir, has a famous uncle who also played a character on Star Trek. What was that character's name?
Pass. Damn.
Who is the American astronaut shown in the title sequence of Star Trek Enterprise?
Buzz Aldrin.
Alan Shepard.
Damn it.
The 23rd century being the timeline for the original series was not established until which movie?
The Wrath of Khan.
Correct. Who was the
Yes.
first Star Trek actor to write a Star Trek episode?
Jonathan Frakes.
Correct. It was Walter Koenig with TAS, The Infinite Vulcan.
Oh, well
The
done,
nuclear
Morpher.
vessel, and I've started so I'll finish, featured in Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, was the real-life USS Enterprise CVN-65. However, the Enterprise was out to sea during filming. So which vessel was used in its place?
The Endeavour.
Incorrect. It was the USS Ranger CV-61.
That was a long shot.
There we go with 4 incorrect answers, 4 passes, and 1 correct answer. You scored a grand total of 3 points tonight. The ones you passed on, in Strange New Worlds, Spock is played by an actor with a famous grandfather. That grandfather is Gregory Peck.
Did not know that.
Spock is played by Ethan Peck.
I knew that bit. I was like, please ask who Ethan Peck is. No, that's going to be too easy. Yeah, okay.
In the motion picture, Commander Decker is the son of Commodore Decker, who appeared in The Doomsday Machine.
Right.
The Russian train toilet flush is connected to the 2009 Star Trek reboot movie by its recorded sound being used for the automatic doors.
No way. That's what they used.
Yes way. And Alexander Siddig's famous uncle also played a character in Star Trek.
I'm going to kick myself.
Dr. Tolian Soren.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
Yeah. There we go.
Soren, Tolian Soren, keep me honest here. This is the character, the antagonist in Generations.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, very good friends with
McDowell.
Yes, very good friends with Patrick Stewart.
He is indeed. And he's Alexander Siddig's uncle.
Yes, which I only found out the other day when I've been reading through Patrick Stewart's memoirs, which are a phenomenal read, making it so. I highly recommend it.
I read that myself recently, and yes, to our view, yes, definitely, well worth a very good read. I didn't know that Patrick Stewart studied with Brian Blessed.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
So many names he throws out, especially from his early days as he's starting to sort of train in the theatre, which I'm just like,
Absolutely. I mean, who'd have thought that bald Yorkshiremen could be sexy? Oh, I'm milking that one. Anyway, Olympus.
I'm not Yorkshire, but my hair, I'm currently got my hair hiding a very receding hairline. It's going back to here so far and continuing. I think I've got about a decade left.
Give it another 20 years. Olympus, thank you so much for joining us. I have to ask a very quick question, because on Trick Wars and Fantasy, you cover both Star Trek and Star Wars, of course, as well as other franchises. Which is better, Trek or Wars?
Oh, no, don't ask me that. No. They are both utterly beautiful in very, very different ways. But what I will say is that my love of Star Trek started first. So there will always be an extra special place in my heart for it.
That's a very carefully thought out answer there. I like it. And of course, I'll be putting links again to Trek Wars and Fantasy, Duel Amongst the Stars, all that kind of stuff down in the comments below. But Olympus, how can people how can they find you in the grand internet thing? Do you want them to find you? This is perhaps a better question.
I know, right? This day and age, the way social media can go sometimes. But no, I'm on a few of the different platforms. I've got a TikTok account, not been on there in a little while, but you will find me there. You'll find me on Twitter, because I still refuse to call it X. And you'll find me on YouTube and Twitch, all of them, Olympus0511. Do not put a space between the Olympus and the numbers. Otherwise, you'll just get a list of Olympus cameras. Whereas if you put it together without space, you'll get me followed by a list of Olympus cameras. Yeah. So either way, you're going to get some good reviews on cameras.
Do you use Olympus cameras?
I did when I had a camera before you got smartphones with the brilliant tech in them for cameras that you do now, especially in the last couple of years. I did have an Olympus camera. I can't remember the model. It wasn't really expensive. It was one of those DSLR type handhelds with the digital screen, and had all sorts of settings in it I didn't fully understand. But I did have that. I'm not a professional photographer in any way whatsoever, but I do enjoy taking photos, playing with settings, doing different exposures with them, and all that good fun stuff. But yeah, since phones now can do, the cameras are just so good, I didn't need it anymore.
Okay.
But then that's also why I've got an iPad. You always want to feel like you've got one of those pads in Star Trek, and that's why I got hold of an iPad the first moment I could.
Okay, I'm going to go slightly off topic now. So I'm old enough to remember when the first proper mobile. I'm old enough to remember the first actual mobile phones in this country that were basically car phones attached to car batteries that you kind of carried. I actually had one for work, so they could contact me any time of day or night. That was great. But when actual normal phones came out, I went out and got a Motorola one called the StarTAC. That was a clamshell phone. It was like the first clamshell phone. It was designed specifically to look like the communicator from the original series. And they wanted to call it the Star Trek, but they couldn't get the licensing, so they called it the StarTAC.
So close, so close.
I know.
Oh, that's brilliant. Funnily enough, my first phone was a folding phone as well, and it was no, that was my second phone. My first phone was a brick with an antenna that didn't go up or down; it just stayed stuck on there. I was 10 at the time, I think. My second phone was a Motorola, and it was a flip. It wasn't the Razor. It wasn't that. It wasn't that modern yet, but it was a flip phone, and it had the aerial that you could pull up, which I always had a lot of fun. Of course, one day that went, oops, but there you go. And I don't know. There's something about the Motorola Razor that just, because I did have one of those when they came out. And yeah, again, it was that whole communicator flip thing. I know it didn't look like the TOS ones anymore, but it still felt like flip. Hello.
The Razor was always a sexy phone. I mean, no, we're not sponsored by Motorola, just to be clear. Although Motorola, if you want to, I'll quite happily talk about the new Razor, which is touchscreen and split screen foldy. I'll happily talk about how sexy that is, but
yes.
But no, I'm more Apple these days.
Same. I'm Apple too, but you know what? You cannot deny that Motorola in their heyday made very sexy flip phones. I keep begging, if Apple, if you ever watch this, get your flipping patent rolling on the foldable glass, please. Yes. You're so far behind on this. I would snap up the iPhone in an instant.
Yeah, you're not supposed to snap them.
No.
Anyway.
You can snap them down, just not like...
Moving swiftly. Anyway, so Olympus, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see how you do in our leaderboard. So
right down at the bottom by the looks of it.
We will see. We have plenty more people to go, including a new contestant next week. So you won't want to miss that, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification icon, because you won't want to be missing that. In the meantime,
thank you,
Olympus. Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper. Thank you so much for having me. Take care.